I still can't get over the timing of it all. It was a Wednesday, and I was sitting in a conference room surrounded by the senior partners at my law firm. 7 years of grinding through 80-hour weeks, skipped vacations, missed weekends, and countless sacrifices were about to pay off. They had just told me I made partner. My base salary was now $350,000, with equity stakes and a corner office overlooking the city. Smash that like button, hit subscribe, and keep watching, because the best part's coming up next. I should have been elated, but then my phone buzzed. I glanced down, expecting maybe a congratulations message from a colleague or a friend. Instead, I was hit with a text from my girlfriend. "We need to talk. This isn't working. You're not really my type anymore. I've outgrown you and honestly need someone more successful. Someone with actual ambition. Sorry." I stared at the screen in disbelief. The irony was almost physically painful. Here I was, finally reaching the peak of my career, and she was telling me I wasn't ambitious enough. I barely managed to type back, "Congratulations on your growth. Best of luck." Then I muted her messages and turned back to sign my partnership paperwork, trying to focus on the momentous milestone I had fought so hard for. When I got home that night, she was already packing her things. Her clothes were stuffed into garbage bags, and she seemed almost annoyed that I wasn't begging her to stay. "You're not even going to ask me to stay?" she said. I shrugged. "You said you outgrew me. I'm not going to argue with that." She huffed and continued throwing her belongings into boxes. Then she said it, trying to hit me where it hurt. "You know what your problem is? You're too comfortable being mediocre. I need drive. I need ambition. I need someone who's actually going places. Makes sense. There's this senior associate at my firm. He asked me out last month. Drives a Porsche, has a place at the beach. That's the level I should be at." I just sat there, eating leftover Chinese food, watching her pack, feeling a strange mix of disbelief and relief. She wanted me to fight, to beg, to make myself small. But I didn't. I let her leave, 3 carloads of her life disappearing out the door. That night, I slept better than I had in years. The next morning, I updated my LinkedIn the way you do with a normal professional announcement. Excited to announce my promotion to partner. Grateful for this opportunity and looking forward to the next chapter, I wrote. Comments rolled in from colleagues, law school friends, former professors. Among them was one from her older sister, someone I had always admired from afar. She was a cardiologist, brilliant, sharp, with a sense of humor that matched her intelligence. Over the years, at family gatherings, I had enjoyed talking to her more than anyone else. She wrote something nice about my promotion. I thanked her politely. Then I went car shopping. I had always wanted a Tesla, but had been practical, putting my money toward the grind to make partner. Not anymore. I test drove a Model S, midnight blue, and put down a deposit. That evening, I posted a photo, captioned simply, "Treating myself." Almost immediately, my phone began blowing up. My ex. Multiple texts, frantic and demanding. "You made partner. Why didn't you tell me? We need to talk right now. This is so immature." I didn't respond. Instead, I read the comments on my posts and noticed her sister had replied to the Tesla photo, asking if I wanted to grab coffee and celebrate properly. I messaged her back. "Would love that. Friday work? Perfect." Then my ex called. I declined again, declined a third time. Her messages kept pouring in. "I made a mistake. Can we please talk? You're acting like a child. I didn't know about the promotion. Her last line stung the most. If she truly cared, she would have stayed through the grind, through the struggle, not just after the victory. Somehow, I replied once. You said you needed someone more successful. Go be with the senior associate. I'm sure he's great. Then I blocked her number. Friday night arrived, and I met her sister, my sister-in-law now, in an Italian restaurant downtown. From the moment we sat down, the conversation flowed naturally. She didn't dance around anything, didn't ask loaded questions. Are you doing this to get back at my sister? She asked. I laughed and admitted maybe it started that way. But I was genuinely enjoying myself. She laughed, rolling her eyes. My sister's an idiot, she said. She never values what she has until it's gone. We spent 3 hours talking. Work, family, life, the absurdity of the situation we were both dragged into. I drove her home in my beat-up Honda. The Tesla wasn't ready yet, and she kissed me goodnight. The next morning, I got an unknown number call. It was her screaming, You're dating my sister? How'd you get this number? What's important to you? I asked. That's what matters to you. You're going after my family. I'm not going after anyone, I said. We had dinner. This is sick. This is revenge. Actually, I'm trying to have a nice time with someone who appreciates me. How you feel about it isn't my concern, I said, and hung up. She couldn't see past herself. Her sister's success didn't intimidate her. It infuriated her. She had always competed with everything in her life, with everyone. And maybe, just maybe, she was starting to realize that she liked me. Liked me, not just what I represented. Then the senior associate she had been talking about? He didn't work out. Porsche leased. Beach house owned by his parents. Still living at home. A perfect example of the false dream she chased while discarding something real. She called again, tearful, trying to make excuses. I made a mistake. I panicked because you were working all the time and I felt neglected, and I took it out on you. I replied calmly. Glad you figured that out. So, you'll give me another chance? No. Because of my sister. You barely know her. Because I know her better than you ever did, I said. Because you dumped me when you thought I wasn't good enough. That's not love. That's ego. The next day, her mother called. I answered, curious. There was no greeting, only anger. Dating your ex-girlfriend's sister? Do you have any shame? My daughter is devastated. Absolutely devastated? I asked. Your daughter broke up with me because she said I wasn't successful enough. Then found out I made partner and changed her mind. Now she's upset I moved on. Not really sure what you want from me here. You're purposely hurting her by dating her sister, she shouted. I'm dating someone I like who likes me. Your daughter's issues with each other are not my problem, I said. She hung up. A few weeks later, things started getting weird. My ex would show up randomly at coffee shops, outside my office, even at the Tesla charging station I used downtown. She'd act surprised, trying to start conversations, but I kept it brief. Then she went after her sister, calling and showing up at her office, leaving constant messages, and posting vague, dramatic social media updates about betrayal and family loyalty. Meanwhile, my sister-in-law and I had been seeing each other regularly. She was nothing like my ex. Independent, successful, confident, and genuinely interested in my life, without trying to compete with it. She didn't play mind games. I realized, finally, what a gift she was. When my ex tried to involve HR at my firm, claiming harassment because I was dating her sister, I simply forwarded the timeline of events. HR closed the case the same day, recognizing it had nothing to do with work. My ex had crossed a line, trying to use my job as leverage. Then came her parents' anniversary party. I was hesitant, but my sister-in-law insisted. My ex wasn't invited. The evening was tense. Her father was supportive, her mother passive-aggressive, and the room crackled with suppressed anger. Finally, my sister-in-law snapped. "He didn't do anything wrong. He's dating me. That's not normal. I don't care. He's living his life. You made your choice." The room went silent. Her dad nodded, her mother was stunned, and I realized that, for the first time, someone was standing up to the toxic patterns I had endured. Weeks passed. My ex sent long emails, alternating between apologies, blame, and desperate begging. Her therapist even got involved, saying I should end things with my sister-in-law. I forwarded everything, calmly. She wouldn't stop until she had someone else to fixate on. But the damage she could do was limited. Finally, the storm passed. My ex moved to a different city, starting a new job and leaving the toxic cycle behind. My sister-in-law and I were officially together. She had met my parents, who loved her, and her practice was thriving. I realized something crucial. My ex hadn't left because I wasn't successful. She had left because she needed to feel superior, to have someone she could control. When I became successful, I stopped fitting into her story. My sister-in-law didn't care about status. She cared about me. Every time I think about that first text, "You're not my type anymore," I can't help but smile. She was right. I wasn't her type. But not because of anything I lacked. I was too much for someone who needed to feel superior. Meanwhile, I had found my equal. We celebrated each other's victories without competition. She laughed at my impractical Honda and teased me about my Tesla, genuinely happy for me. She supported me without needing validation. Now, as we plan trips, discuss moving in together, and build our lives side by side, I understand the lesson completely. Someone who loves you celebrates your success. Someone who uses you sees your success as a threat. My ex thought she was trading up, but really, she was removing herself. And sometimes, the trash takes itself out. You just have to let it. To me, this story really underscores how crucial it is to be with someone who genuinely supports and celebrates your growth rather than competing with it. Watching the protagonist navigate his ex's selfishness, stand firm, and find a partner who truly values him is inspiring. It shows the power of patience, self-respect, and choosing people who add joy instead of drama. Life throws absurd and painful moments at us, but often they lead to growth and unexpected happiness. The way he handled it, with calm, dignity, and eventually love, is a powerful lesson about self-worth and emotional resilience. If you enjoyed this story, make sure to like and subscribe for more incredible tales. And I'd love to hear your thoughts. Have you ever experienced a breakup that turned out to be a blessing? Share your story in the comments below, and let's discuss.